Tips to calm down negative thoughts and avoid the meltdown.
Manifestation Mojo to live the life of your dreams.
Having negative thoughts can be very addictive and so seductive that it can approach a mental meltdown. So, how about some help, which I would really like in the past have had to quiet some negative thoughts and relieve being overwhelmed? Here are a few tips to calm down those negative thoughts and avoid the head-aching craziness of a meltdown. Hey, George, have you ever done something to try to avoid the meltdown?
Well, I'll tell you, sometimes when I'm thinking negative, the meltdown feels good. It's like those, what do you call it? The brain and the chemicals. It's almost like being on drugs. And I wouldn't know anything about that, but yeah, I've had that. I've had those meltdown thoughts where I'm thinking, oh my God, this is crazy. And my mind starts to run away with it like a freight train that's about to derail.
Absolutely. Somebody who may have done you even a small little wrong, if you want to get even, for instance, you get really involved in that, let's say, revenge or vindictiveness and stuff like that.
Yeah, you throw gasoline on the fire.
And so, how do you stop that? How do you avoid this runaway train as seductive runaway train?
Well, let's just talk about two easy, quick that anyone can do in any frame of mind, anywhere in the world. How does that sound?
Well, that sounds really good. Well, what do you do first? Because I know what I do. I like to take a deep breath.
Breathing is fantastic, and for me, I'm gonna say a nice, brisk, pounding walk because I've got to get that frustration out of me. And one of the things that I've learned from my son that I just came to my mind a little bit earlier is when he's mad, he's pounding the floor and you can hear the house shake.
Wow, pounding the floor. Well, let's because let's say you're out you go for a walk. A lot of times people are in a meltdown and they might be driving a car or something like that, and going for a walk may not be the easiest thing to do. But taking a deep breath, look at to me that's what it really invigorates. Taking a deep breath and smiling and being grateful that you have a car, being
Mhm.
the deep breath. That is, look at sometimes when I have a little bit of difficulty, I count down from 10 on my toes, not my hands, my toes. And why my toes is because it shifts my brain into the present.
So what do you do? Do you go and wiggle your toes or do you close your
Well,
eyes or whatever and you focus on your toes like your little toe and then you go up to the big toe, then the other big toe, then the other little toe?
well, you can do it any way you would like, but yes, I actually uh, wiggle starting with my right little toe and then working across from right to left. You could go from left to right or whatever,
Okay.
but to me, it's the countdown to actually give a number and wiggle the toe. Because guess where your focus is when you're doing this?
Got it. So what you're saying is instead of focusing on the pool being green, you got a flat tire. What you're focusing on then is okay, let's go and visualize or whatever my little toe, and then take your mind off at least temporarily for 10 seconds off of your negativity.
Well, yeah, absolutely. The other day, I locked myself out of the house, and uh, right then I had to figure out a way to get back in the house because my wife was running pretty scared because she might be late for work. So I just really kind of took a deep breath and said, well, what am I going to do? I really did. I went to my toes and I counted, I got to 3, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And I says, well, we'll just go around back and because I think we left the window open and we'll cut the screen.
Yeah, got it. Got it.
Okay.
So, all right. So for people watching this, they can take a deep breath, focus on something physical that they can actually count.
Well, and then again, if you remember, I said I walked around to the back of the house to get to the screen, which I thought I could remove, but maybe in my haste I couldn't. So my wife just cut the screen, and then I had to go get a new one, of course. But look at in that walking around the house, it was a short walk. But I tell you what, even then, I wasn't frustrated. I wasn't having a meltdown because I was taking some deep breaths and I was focusing on just relaxing.
Excellent. Okay. So anyone watching this, our followers, and thank you very much. When you have this negative thoughts and stuff like that, and possibly having a meltdown because things aren't going that well. Now, what Stan talked about, hey, he locks himself out of the house, or myself, I was talking about my kid, he's having a problem in stomping his feet. But let's say that someone's truly got a big deal, all right? And it's like, you know what? A walk around the block is just not enough. Counting to 10 or 15 is just not enough. How can we incorporate a walk and maybe counting together so that they can not be so caught up into their moment and their stress or whatever might be going on? Stan, do you have any advice for that?
The only thing I can think of is other people who have had more stress than I have and have had a meltdown, as if somebody was on the school board lately and they were being, let's say, hey, I know where you live. Are they having a,
who's having the meltdown? The guy doing the pointing, I know where you live, or the one who's receiving it says, oh my God, now I have a threat. I'm going to have to watch out my window before I leave.
I think both of them are having a meltdown. Personally, I do. And is it possible that they can count down on their toes from 10? I don't know. Should they? Because is that really the resolution to the problem? That's what we're trying to avoid the meltdown with, is to be calm enough that you can have a resolution to the problem. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, somewhat. I'm going to throw something in there because I really like mindfulness. And you had a great definition of mindfulness. What was that definition again?
Well, just become aware of what you're thinking and what you're doing and what you're feeling.
Okay, so you've got the guy and the teacher, or the school board, or whatever, the meeting going on, and someone's going to point the finger at the other person. Now, if he used some mindfulness and took a pause, and before like the knee-jerk reaction and pointing the finger and starting to pound on the other person.
And how do you resolve this issue? That's to me is the key question. And why do you want to calm down is because you want to be able to think clearly.
Yeah.
To get a clarity as to what really is going on.
So I need to throw in my little punch here, my little punch. Today's reading was The Benefit of Kindness, which is really what we're just kind of, the whole, the school board or the school meeting and all that is one person is intentionally.
Anyway, the tip is try to deep breaths and also if you can, let's say, go for a walk or count your toes, or to me, the countdown from 10. That to me has been around for a long time to avoid
Yep.
the let's say the craziness of a meltdown.
I'll tell you what, let's finish the video in 10, 9, 8, 7. Count with me, Stan. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're out.
Here is another video we think you will find valuable. Highly recommend you watch it. Go there now to help manifest what you want.